Hi everyone, this is Arslan. Welcome to my channel. I recently moved to Berlin in Germany, and for me, it's a task to find out how to settle in well in Germany. That's why today I am joined by career mentor, business developer, and also a expert on integration for international academics, Tina Stavemann, who is with me. Thank you for joining, Tina. And could you please tell me about who you are and what services you provide to international academics?
Thank you so much for having me, Aslan. I'm a career mentor in Germany for internationals, and I'm doing this job now for the past 6 years. So before I was self-employed, I worked in a science park. So I basically consulted all the scientists, STEM scientists, basically. And now I'm doing the same work self-employed, and I really like it. And I formed a community. We will have the next community meeting on January 16th. So it's basically to bring together the people who are searching for a job and feeling a little bit frustrated and isolated and want to connect with other people. And of course, I offer one-on-one mentoring sessions, and I'm planning to bring out an online course as well.
Great, thank you, Tina. So the theme today is basically how internationals can settle in smoothly in Germany, and especially for academics. So I think this is going to be useful for all of you who are watching and thinking of moving to Germany. So Tina is an expert, and she is going to share with us some tips on how to settle in smoothly. Tina, okay, you've been working before. Why did you come into this industry and as a self-employed to start and consult internationals? Did you see some gap there? What brought you to this?
Oh, that's an interesting question. So, to me, it was mostly about freedom, and because I'm planning on living abroad for some time of the year as well. So, I needed some more flexibility, which I wouldn't have when I'm employed. And I really love my job and what I'm doing, and I wanted to do it in my style, not being dependent on other people, because I really feel like I wanted to do something or build something where I can truly feel myself and build a company where or which is built on my values.
It sounds like a dream job for many, but let's start then with a person like me. So I'm international. I came here to Berlin, and I am told that in order to be successful in Germany, you have to speak perfect German. Tell me, please, is that a myth or is this really correct? Can I handle it without German, or do I need to be perfect speaker in this language?
So you won't handle it without German skills because you definitely have to know that, especially in the eastern parts of Germany, people who are at my age in their 40s and 50s and beyond, haven't learned English at school. They learned Russian at school. So you definitely have to be able to interact with people from other departments in your companies. Even if your job or your team in your specific field is speaking English, you have to be able to talk German to other people in the company. And the more German you speak, the more chances you will have on the job market.
Okay.
And basically, a B1 level is the entry point for most companies.
That's very useful because there is really a myth. I was thinking that English is probably enough to settle in well. I think in some cases, yes, but my also feeling that without German, it will be quite hard. So if
Yeah.
coming here, if you can manage to get a B1 certificate, that's gonna be helpful to you.
Yeah, definitely. And it shouldn't just be a certificate. You should be able to speak on that level. That's the most important part. Just having a certificate wouldn't
Right.
work.
Right. Okay. Which then brings me to another question related to this. So, what are the skills that internationals should bring with themselves apart from German? Like, what would you recommend to learn or get as a skill before coming to Germany for internationals slash academics?
You should definitely dive into German culture before, because cultures in every country are very, very different. And having some knowledge about things tick here will definitely help you to settle. Yeah.
Well, German culture, of course.
And I don't speak about beer and lederhosen. I speak about the overall culture when it comes to business and to work.
If we think about today and then in the next 5 to 10 years, how do you see the German market opening up for internationals?
So first of all, I find it very hard to look in the future for 5 years because when you think back just the last 2 years, so much has happened all over the world and it's everything is interconnected. So we are dependent on the global um, stage as well. So, what we definitely need in Germany is about 400,000 foreign people each year to keep the country running like it is at the moment. So, we definitely 400,000 people each year because over the next 3 years, almost so we already have a lack of skilled workers of about 400,000 people. But over the next 3 years, this will almost double because a lot of people will retire in those years. So we need a lot of internationals. And on the other hand, there are still parts of the industry who are not accustomed or who still believe that this will only be a gap of skilled workers and there will be people coming up, German people, which is not the case because of the low birth rates. And they have to integrate as well. And a lot of German people find it hard to integrate mutually because we never had to as a country.
Right.
Yeah, so it's really about integrating mutually from both sides. And this is a process.
Well, that's really a huge figure that you are telling, Tina.
Yeah.
I hope, yeah, those people who are thinking to come in make themselves so well prepared in terms of the German language and then in terms of the cultural knowledge, so that when they come in, they won't feel any difficulties in settling in.
Yeah, it will definitely help. But I'm a true believer that the Germans have to um, get into their process as well. There's no way around it from my perspective.
Right. Going to the next question then. What do you think is the are the unwritten rules of the German work culture, which is different from, let's say, some other European countries or Western mindset overall?
Yeah, so in Germany, we are very direct in general. Of course, there are personality differences, but in general, you could say we have a very direct communication and low hierarchies, even in the workforce. Of course, there are still differences depending on how big the companies are, etc. But just saying in general, low hierarchies, very direct communication. If you are invited to a work meeting, everybody assumes you will have an opinion on the topic as well, and you are invited to state it. If you sit in a meeting, I don't know, 5 times, not saying a word, they the other people will ask themselves what is wrong with this guy or with this woman, why doesn't she participate in the meeting? So I think that's huge to have this knowledge about our direct communication. Yeah.
The workplace is expecting you to contribute in one way or another, right?
Yeah, because that's the reason why they hired you. They believe that you can bring skills to the table which they are lacking. And if you don't offer them, what's the point? Why are you there?
Right. Tina, I'm a newcomer to Germany. and my first task is to find myself a job, my dream job. What do you think should I change in my mind so that I'm, let's say, a good candidate for my potential employer?
Yeah, so let's assume you are coming directly from academia, from
Right.
an institution or university. Then my approach would be you have to come out of your mindset that everything is funded because in the end, in industry, it's all about revenue. You are just one tiny piece within the revenue chain. And if you don't bring solutions to the table, you kick yourself out of the game, basically. And in academia, you have to dive deep into a problem, and in industry, you have to find solutions for problems.
What about the internationals? Like, what are the specifics for international labor, highly talented labor, I should say, when they come to Germany? What are the tips that you would give them in terms of finding their dream job in Germany?
It's all about social skills. So your talent and your degrees and your certificates bring you into a job, but your social skills will keep you into a job because we have this testing phase in the beginning of each contract. So it will be 3 months or 6 months. And you can have the best skills ever. If you are not fitting into the team, you won't make it.
Can you give an example of a social skill? Like I know there are many of them, but what are probably the two or three ones that you think are most useful in the German workplace context?
Curiosity, openness, and explaining to the people that you might ask them questions which seem irrelevant to them, but which are very relevant to you. Um, we Germans are a country with people who travel a lot, but most of them only travel for vacation. And that's a completely different approach living in a country and being on vacation. So most of them won't have the knowledge and the experience how it feels to be in a completely different setup, having to learn everything anew, every rule, every social setting, everything is new. And most people don't know how this is, especially if we are talking about, let's say, a little bit older people. The younger people very often had this during their studies. They might have a semester abroad, but older people usually didn't have that chance. So you might have to explain to them how it feels to you. And then it might take some time until they can connect with this feeling or try to connect with this feeling and might be more open to you as well.
Let's continue on my journey then, Tina. Basically, I am here again. I'm looking for a job, and you said that social skills are very important, apart from your German skills and other professional talents, etc. But I have a feeling that I need to network. I need to find connections so that
Yes.
they can help me to land on my dream job. What are the best networking techniques or avenues would you suggest to people who are new in Germany and who are thinking to network?
When you come, I would suggest to start with the international community. In bigger cities, you definitely have international communities. If you are more in a rural area, you won't find so many internationals, sadly. But just to get accustomed to life in Germany, let's say. And then when you want to hop onto business networks, there are a lot of networks due to branches or due to topics. So you will find a lot of networks and then put yourself out there, go to events, use online events as well, which are free of charge most of the time. Go to conferences, even if it's an online conference. If you don't feel so comfy putting yourself out there, in real life, I would start with online meetings. It gives you, yeah, you can hide a little bit more, let's say. Um, and yeah, just try it out. Try to hear the language. Try to understand what people are talking about. Try to connect with people. And if you are online, you can just find out the names of the people and then connect with them via LinkedIn afterwards, sending messages. I think this is a good starting point. And then when you feel a little bit more comfy, put yourself out in real situations and go to network events.
And given that LinkedIn was basically the platform where we connected with you, Tina,
Yes.
then I attended your online session. Can you please tell me about your product? Like, I think people who are watching us will find it useful to learn about what you offer and what sort of cases you deal with in a nutshell.
So I give one-on-one sessions to mentor people in how to find a job here. And the questions are very, very different, how people find me and what they need from me. Very often I am more or less a culture translator because they are already in their application process. They might have had some interviews, but they get rejected and they have no clue why. And most people really think it's just about their skills and degrees, and it's not. That's just the starting point. Some of them underestimate the influence of AI. Some of them only use LinkedIn profiles or LinkedIn jobs to apply. And of course, there are a lot of people out there applying for these kinds of jobs. So they have no clue where to find other jobs. So the questions are, it's a huge variety of questions, and I really like to dive into these kinds of questions on an individual level. And because of the fact that I talk to so many people, I learned more and more that some of them, or yeah, some of them feel isolated because if you are not searching for a new job aside of your actual job at the moment, you are at home all the time and might not have so many friends out here. And that's the reason why I created the online community. And you have played a big part in this as well because you asked me about a community and I didn't have one at that time. So yeah, when you brought it up, I thought, oh, yeah, maybe I should do it now and not in, I don't know, 3 or 5 months.
Yeah.
And then I started it. Yeah.
It's a good service of yours, Tina. I think you should continue it definitely. And another topics all like questions I'm all usually asked is whether it is useful to search for job in Germany or whilst in their home countries. So, for example, I'm a person from Brazil, let's say. Should I apply for jobs while I'm in Brazil, or is it more useful to come to Germany and start looking for jobs here?
It's definitely more useful to come here first and then apply for jobs because you can use the time before very well for preparation for learning German, get accustomed to the rules here. Just absorb what you need to know before you apply because for a company, the most important part is that you are in the country, that your certificates have been certified, because otherwise they cannot put you on the payroll. Um, and that's their perspective, and you need to fit into their perspective to get hired. Most of them won't invite you to even to an interview when they know that you are still in Brazil or any other country.
From my experience now, my most important question to myself was whether it is a right decision to come during the Christmas time or whether it's to come in the new year. But I do not regret that I came earlier because I managed to, as you said, to finish lots of my mandatory settlings like to find a place to live, to open a bank account, and then finding like figuring out the tax number, because all
Yeah.
things you will need to have in order to get into it.
Before. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
these processes take time. So it's
Of
basically
course.
better to have.
And you have been very fast.
Thank you.
So
Yeah,
you have been very, very fast to set everything up. So yeah, some people need 3 months for this or even longer. So yeah, it definitely makes sense to plan some time before and then hop into the job market game and search for jobs.
I think I'm lucky. Yes, you said that I'm fast, but this is also because of the help of the people like you, Tina. I mean, I attended your session and you gave me some useful advices on how to network, on where to approach, etc. So I think all internationals who are coming into Germany, if they know this package of information, of go-tos, I think they can also make their processes uh,
Much faster.
much faster,
Yeah.
exactly. So
Yeah.
for all those of you who are watching us, I recommend approaching Tina because she is really an expert. She handled so many cases that she has a sort of institutional memory now to help you, because
Yes.
most cases are similar. So it's basically like applying to previous experience of Tina's to your case and making you to like settle in much faster. Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely about the pace. And that's the reason why I'm creating this online course to bring all of this knowledge together so that you have can make informed decisions and don't waste time from application to application to understand things and the hidden rules of the market.
Tina, I think this was a nice starting session, let's say. I still have so many questions, but I think we will need to have a second podcast. Please comment here, all those of you who are watching, if you need some further podcast with Tina, and then we will definitely schedule one. But as a closing remark, Tina, what is the advice, first of all, you would give to all of those coming to Germany?
Be open and be yourself.
And be
Definitely stay true to yourself. And I would give this advice to anybody, no matter the country, because in the end, nobody will applaud on your grave because you function so well. So you will adapt here, and of course, you are taking on the challenge, but always stay true to your core.
I think this was a great session, Tina. Thank you for your time again. I mean, before
Thank you.
Christmas, before the Weihnacht, yeah, for you to find time, it's really kind of you. I wish you a really happy Christmas, and I hope we will see each other in the new year.
Yeah, of course. I wish you a very nice Christmas as well. And yeah, and New Year's Eve. And let's meet up next year.
Thank you very
And
much.
you find me on LinkedIn.